Now, what is the data blending? So data blending is a concept of mixing the data or integrating the data from the multiple sources. Okay, suppose I have one source which is one source system which is in Oracle, another source system which is in SQL Server, and this Oracle and SQL Server databases are two different applications. Now, as they are in a single enterprise, they have some functional relationship. Maybe the company code, maybe employee code, maybe some other code which is flowing across both of these databases. So based on this record or based on this unique attribute which is common in both the database, we can make a integration between these two databases. That is what we call as a data blending in Tableau. All right.
Okay.
So data blending is possible in the front end. So whereas in the day, uh, because there are two different applications, so we can also call this as a data integration. Okay.
Okay.
So in a single database, if you have multiple table, why how we are connecting to them? Basically, we are using the type of joins, right,
Yeah.
within the tables. However, if you have two tables from two different databases, whereas these two databases are there in two different servers, so bringing them on board to a single platform is called as a data blending, and making a homogeneous relationship between those two data and
Mhm.
creating some visualization based out of two different data sources. Okay, that is what we call as a data blending. So let us see the live example of this. Now I have a supplier DB which is having some commonalities like in the customer table I can see country. There's a field which is country. Yeah, here we have country, and in the sales table also sales DB. This is also separate database. There's no relationship. There is no uh, you know uh, commonalities between all those record except the country code probably. So I need to check, probably I have the country code in the sales DB as well. Country name, yes, I have a country or region. So let's see the data in this both the city country are common or not. It should be some details. I'm just removing the longitude latitude because it is automatically making geocoding of this data. Okay, we have Germany, Greece, Hong Kong, India, and many other countries. Now, I want to make a relationship between this supplier DB and sales DB based on this country name. Okay, so I'm just going to change this name as country instead of country slash region. Okay, only country. And Tableau is capable enough to automatically find out the common key field between two tables if
Okay.
they are in a single database. But here, as they are in two different databases, this is following a live database from Excel, and this is taking the data from the Tableau data extract file. Okay, so in order to make the relationship, you have to go to data here, edit relationship. So okay, so my source database which is selected, which is in blue color tick, you can see this is sales DB. Now I went to data and I can see this data which is coming here. Uh, Relationship determine how data from secondary data source are joined with the primary data source. So this console is enabling us that how the secondary data source, which I'm going to take as supplier DB, will be joined with the primary data source, which is sales DB. Our primary data source is sales DB and secondary data source is supplier DB. And we need to determine ourselves what are the common key field between these tables on which we can make a relationship. Okay. So there are other, you know, some commonalities also, and automatically it could, find out the common key fields. So order date, that could be very rarely common. City, state, quarter, weeks, and all. I don't think these dates could be equal with this. Even though the field names are common, but the date range, the data, that data would be different. So automatically they find the commonalities. Country. Now what I'm going to do is I will just not make a relationship but automatically. I will choose a custom relationship. Okay. If I'll make it automatic and if I'll make it okay, the relationship will formed, but I never know that what is the data between these two tables. There could be differences, but between this country and city, country of these two tables, I found that there are commonalities, like because India, Greece, Germany, those are there in the supplier DB as well. So go to custom. Instead of making the relationship based on all the attributes, just remove all. I want to make it based on the country only. Order date will also differ, so they will never you know join. Okay, I removed all, then I kept country of the source table and country of the destination database. Okay, so it's not table, it's a data source or two different data servers. Okay, so country from the two different data sets we have chosen. Now okay, so when I'll make okay, the relationship is formed between the supplier DB and sales DB. Now what I can do, I can take the sales, the country of sales DB, and then I can take some other attribute from the supplier DB and can make a relationship. Now you see, how do you know that the relationship is properly formed? So here in this sales DB, I can see country name, okay, country, and go to the supplier DB, and you see here in against the country, can you see a link sign?
Yes.
It's a red color link
Yeah.
which is giving created. So if you want to disconnect the relationship, then you can click on stop. You can simply click it, the relationship will be stopped, so data will not be blended over here.
So unless and until you explicitly say that these two columns match, then only there will be a link, or what happens if there are multiple columns with same names but they mean something else?
Yeah, so name could be different, we can also join here, that's not an issue. In the custom mode, we I can choose the X column of ABC table and
Mhm.
Y column of XYZ table. Okay, so that is possible. We have a possibility to choose the columns, different columns, but we need to ensure that the data between these two columns has to be same.
Same.
Okay, all right. So now I've taken the primary dimension, which is from the country, from the sales DB table. Now against this country, I'm going to take the relations. I'm going to take the data from the customer table. Okay, so though this country is not belongs to this customer table, but still it will join and it will show you the statistics over here. So from these countries, how many customers are belongs, I can just make a relationship, double click on this. So it's making sum. Actually it should not be sum, it should be count,
Count.
because we are going to now you can see there are countries which having the data and there are countries which don't have the data.
Hmm.
So now what is the reason behind it? Just because this data are concurrent with the data of the supplier DB, I mean, this Austria, Brazil, Germany, France, those countries of the sales DB are present in the supplier DB. So that's why the relationship has formed.
Okay.
Okay. Whereas Egypt, all those other countries are not found in the supplier DB. So that's why the relationship could not formed. So against that we could not get the data. However, wherever we have the commonality or the relationship is perfect, then we got the data against it. Okay.
Okay.
So I have a blank. I can simply remove blanks also, hide, or I can basically these countries. I mean, a customer table, customer ID. I'll just drag it to the filter and count of distinct customer ID. Next, if it is 0, include null values. Include null values 1 to this thing. So I did not check the include null value. I've
Mm-hmm.
simply added the customer ID to this context filter, and then by default it took 1 to 11. And if I would have chosen this uh, check, then it would have been shown the null value countries.
Okay.
So now the relationship is formed between the two tables. Now we see the colors of the data sources. What do you mean by this? This country, it's showing blue color. Okay, fine. This is showing in green color, but there is a red color sign. Can you see this? What
Yeah.
this red color is all about?
It's a
You see,
link.
this country is coming from,
Sales TP.
yeah, this coming from the data source, a sales DB, and this is coming from
Supplier.
data source customer ID supplier DB.